Hey, what's up, fam? So this chapter, these two for 28 and 29 of Happy's Adventure for the Fairy Tale spinoff, I thought was extremely interesting. I liked relatively every moment of it, and I really like this panel, even though I'd say it's not the best one out of these two chapters. I thought it was really interesting of just the display of these two little speedsters going out and just creating this big torrent of wind, and it was just very interesting because I can't think off the top of my head. Like I don't think there's any like just straight two speed based characters in fairy tale fighting. There's obviously characters who are fast, but ones like this that are very speed heavy. Because even though Happy himself isn't a fighter, he's still one of the fastest characters in the series, and Chi's able to. Uh, he's a little bit faster than him, so just like this battle between them was very interesting. Even not from a point of like vicious trading of punches, but just the fact that them moving around like this was creating like this big whirlwind. I thought that was cool. And it was nice to see Happy try and fight, even though he doesn't really have any combat experience. But he had that whole like plan. He's gonna grab Chi and drop him out of the ring. He's got his long tail. He's good at carrying people. But Chi, who speed isn't his only ability, shown that he's got a second power that well, not really even a power. It seems more of just like a genetic thing or something he developed because he starts to get upset that he might lose and tears up and starts like putting out this fume cloud. And then it's kind of revealed that it's the thing that really made him one of the four big shots on Wild Time. It isn't just his speed, but his speed combined with the fact that his body emits a very powerful poison, and that also made it much more interesting if he came back to the main series and the main story and timeline. Where would he go? I actually mentioned to the guy who writes Fairy Tale Happy's Adventure in on Twitter, and he responded because I said that I was hoping he'd come back and either be with Laxus or Cobra because he's got the personality. He's got a very similar personality to early Laxus, but kind of like coupled over with like this much more emotional trauma like heavy on him because he's so young, but also just that like whole friendship at like complex in them where he really wants people to be his friends or just like those who don't, he just wants to die. And then obviously the poison aspect for Cobra, and I'm hoping that goes somewhere because I was able to get a response and he thought it was interesting. Maybe he'll put it in the manga eventually. But it's shown that when he was young, that Chi was born pretty much in a garbage dump, and he survived entirely off of like drinking sewage water and like rotten food, and because of that, his body evolved to be able to take in poisonous things, and that in end result it made himself poisonous. Now I thought that was pretty cool because it adds just that little bit of extra meaning behind it, but it doesn't look it looks like it hurts him more than it hurts other people. And Happy didn't have any real way to really contend with that on a fighting standpoint because the only thing he really had on him was the fact he could fly, but now he can't really get close to him without being affected by the poison. But also the fact that his poison is part of the reason that she has this kind of complex about not having any friends because nobody wanted to be around him when he was, he's a little poisonous cat. Why would anyone want to go near him? And Happy was able to play on that. Obviously, not really play on that. He's being very truthful, and I like that he was able to end the fight without really fighting. He just kind of like hits it more on the emotional side, which normally I wouldn't really like in a battle shonen, but this is like only partially I would consider like a battle shonen would only be a piece of it just because there are some fights in this. It's I don't really know what I would describe the Happy's adventure, but like the weapon obviously best against this guy that he had was the emotional side of Chi, and Happy who is not really a fighter. I think this made more sense and just like it was a good character moment for him as well, and I thought that was pretty good. So I definitely want to see Chi come back to the main story after this. This really hammered at home of how I think his character will benefit, you know, from becoming into the main story instead of just being this guy who only exists in the spinoff. So other than that, I really appreciate it. If you dropped a comment below on what you thought about this, and thumbs up the video, hit, befriend the like button if you enjoyed this video and this kind of content, and check out my other videos. And hopefully you can subscribe for more. But other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.